Temple right now with excellent defense. Doing a good job of blocking them out, limiting them to one shot. Washington needs to get more energy and get this crowd and get this building fired up and get moving again.
Back door, it's available.
That'll do it. That'll do it. Great long play out of the timeout. He never practices and just plays in ball games.
5 minutes in and a 1-point lead for USC. Gaddy caught in the air.
If you watch SC, they all collapse to the paint on any drives. They do a good job of everybody's in the paint trying to rebound that ball.
Boy, that was good touches. Good ball movement.
Excellent.
Coming off a career best when he hit 5 of his 11 threes on Thursday night at Washington State. Cans there. They found him. Beautiful pass by Tony Roten.
Beautiful pass, and SC needs to take that timeout. Coach O'Neal wants to keep the tempo of the game in his favor. And right now what is going on is Washington starting to push the ball more, but they're starting to establish themselves in the paint with a 6-0 run, and it's going inside, inside, inside. This time Roten brings the ball down the floor, very poised. Darnell Gantt, excellent cut to the basket. Washington is too big for this undermanned SC basketball team. The game for Washington.
Gaddy. And boy, this is strange. The guy that hits 38% of his threes opening the floor for Gantt. And a guy that's not known for triples out of Crenshaw High School in Los Angeles. Darnell, freshman of the country, Tony Roten Jr. Garfield High School here in Seattle. Slips it for Kemper's grab and the foul. It's Alexis Moore on the read.
It's very, very important that the weak side defenders are camped in that lane, waiting to rotate and help.
So third among freshmen in the nation in scoring. Tony Roten gets the first of 2 as Blasick is back into the game, taking over for Garrett Jackson. And also Allen checking back into the game. So 5-point lead for the Huskies. And fighting for rebounds as well. Nobody out on Gaddy. Can't burn him though. And it's tapped right to Ross. Look at I found. Enjoy Blasick all locked up, and it went to Terrence Ross.
Well,
Greg Allen. They're finally in there.
They're doing everything right. They just can't finish right now.
Little stop. Wilcox, you better account for him. One of the great guys off the bench. There's a premium on the basketball when you're not shooting well, and that's the case once again for USC. Roten forcing it and getting it.
How about your point guard that can go down underneath?
Time as it's picked up by Ross.
Well, everything seems to me to be just in and out. And that tells me that the team is a little bit fatigued, doesn't have their leg strength. As Washington comes back and gets a point-blank dunk by Kemp.
The basketball.
They're hanging in there, but they got to do a much better job of keeping Washington from point-blank dunks. As Kemp gets out a monster dunk.
And up against Roten and blocked away by Enjoy. It'll belong to USC with 16 left on the shot clock.
Well, this time, Garrett Jackson tries to do a little bit too much. Good job by NJ coming over and helping on the weak side.
It's deflected by the length of Ross. The Huskies, will it be points off a turnover? Gantt, give it to him. He's got a triple. 10-point lead for Washington.
Very important for SC to get a stop here and try to get the last score, get some momentum going into the half.
Now, final shot for Washington. Roten on the spin and follows his own, keeps it alive. How about padding your stats, Tony Roten? Jones on the run. It won't go. And the Trojans will go to the locker room.
Shoot them well. You need to make sure you put your time into practice, and it's repetition, repetition, repetition. But still, for a guy his size, as much as he handles the ball inside, I think he'd be a better free throw shooter.
It's only a 6-point lead. Make it 7 now for the Huskies. For USC. Besides the man with the ball, Garrett Jackson. Simmons timed it perfectly on the takeaway. Ross. And he lost the handle going up. Simmons flat on his back, and Ross will go to the line.
Gets it back and gets the foul.
So Terrence Ross getting the first of 2. And if you look at the American Airlines, Washington guards among the Pac-12 rankings. And where they are in scoring, the only team that has 3 in the top 10 in the Pac-12 in scoring.
And you throw Abdul Gadi, should have pulled up and shot the jump shot because he was certainly wide open.
He's got 4 assists already. Ross. And a second half sensation for the Huskies so far this conference season. Missing again. Enjai. That close to the basket. 11-point lead. It stays an 11-point game. Over the top Enjai. You talked about with Blasic out of the lineup, they have no one to defend him. 6'6" Garrett Jackson's going to drive. And they've gone to a little matchup zone, haven't they?
Well, they're a little bit of zone, but you got those shooters on the perimeter, and they just bait you inside, and if they collapse too much, they're going to get the 3, so if you get beat by an end to 13.
Roden leads the way after the miss. Boy, even the size advantage of the guard position. Roden got there. Kept alive, and Roden gets his own.
So
great work by Tony Roden again.
Roden catches it out of very good at home. 10-0 at home in Pac-12 play right now.
And they didn't beat him in a shutout. It was 72-71. It was a good game in Boulder. Free throw goes for Enjai. 11-point game as Abdul Gadi comes back in for the Huskies. So after the emotional come from behind win over UCLA, where Terrence Ross scored 12 of the last 14 points down the stretch. They outscored UCLA.
They're pretty good defensively. They do a good job there, especially when they can keep teams off the glass.
SC is last in the Pac-12. And 3-point field goal percentage, only 29% as a group. Kept a little fall away, and Roden inside just overpowered the smaller guard.
For keeping him hanging around, because he's coaching every single possession. And when you have a team that can't score offensively, it's a frustrating feeling, but you still have to continue to coach, and he's done a great job that way.
Gadi, right back from Roden. Guard to guard. Nobody there. And on the run, Wilcox will get the roll. C.J. Wilcox, good-looking sophomore. Only his Nike Hoop Summit last year, and those were his teammates in Portland.
Yes.
Now Ross on a reach. We'll get to the free throw line.
Everybody knows USC is struggling this year, and people feel like it's going to be an easy game. We should win this. And you know, as much as you try to get your team up, they hear it from everywhere. This is going to be an easy contest, but I would have liked to see Washington a lot more sharp, a lot more efficient offensively, and just blow a team out if they have the ability to do that, particularly in this building.
Could be running out of time. And it's not like the Huskies, and we talked about the turnovers. The Huskies shooting just 38%, and 2 of the top 10 scorers in the conference. Wilcox and Ross getting absolutely nothing tonight. Gadi, who's been very quiet, just his Ross in double figures, doing the little things. He's got 13 points. And on the move, Enjai. You're right. He still needs some work, as we saw in practice. Right again for the first time. And on the line, Ross from Roden. Those two can get it done. Boy, naturally in the flow for Tony Roden. Giveaway by Byron Wesley and Breugen. They love it. The shooter from Germany with the dunk. A guy that originally committed to Maryland, and a timeout.
Notice the way Kevin O'Neal continues to coach. You know, get the crowd settled down again, even though they're down. He's done a nice job of bringing this team together, his young team, and continue to talk and teach. But Washington right now, you know, they're playing at home. They're playing in a great rhythm. Offensively, they're getting out and running. And then Tony Roden, one of the best passers in the country, just sees Ross on the backdoor pinpoint alley-oop pass.
A 23-point lead for Washington. Gadi and Roden, the starting backcourt, staying on the floor. And Gadi got there way too easily.
Well, you need to get those two players out of the game.
On Wesley.
And we have a cameraman down at the other end of the floor. Took a hard hit from Ross on the play. Tough position to be in for a cameraman.
It's Ross. That time from Gadi.
Course of the game.
Up ahead, it's Roden. Balancing act on the baseline. And Breugen. He's an outside guy. Somebody's got to tell him he's not supposed to do that inside. He's one of the reasons. It's 48-22 on the glass as Gaddy checks out. The Scherer, who we documented as a guy who wants to go to dental school, our brainwiz tonight, he's into the contest.
Well, the players kind of tease him. They say when he comes in the game, you know, you can light up the victory cigar. So he's in the game. I think they got this one in the bag, but I love the fact that he exemplifies the student athlete being in our brainwaves tonight.
Gary Jackson split a pair at the free throw line, so he had 15 at Washington State, 15 tonight, only one off his career best. And just a sophomore for Kevin O'Neal. Final 2.5. Safarian Jenkins. He'll power his way home, won't he? At 6'5", a tight end.
15 points a game, 63%. It's just been an amazing basketball player. Washington is very fortunate to have a player that can be so explosive on the floor.
Jenkins clear him out, and the bench loves it. Final minute. Safarian Jenkins. And it's going to be a reach. They'll call it from behind on Allen. He's not timid about it once he gets it.
Well, Lorenzo is purposely coming down the floor and giving the ball to him so he can kind of get his sea legs about himself and score and get the football legs out. So I like the way they're working him in the last couple of minutes to get some production out of him.
They join the team. Not quite 4 weeks ago after the football season concluded. Jarrett will set it up. Hakeem Stewart, the long deuce.
Here over the last few ball games, and not too many coaches in the conference have been able to do that. 500 overall as a head coach, that's pretty impressive.
So the leaders in the Pac-12 sweep UCLA and USC this weekend. And our scoring leaders as